Hi, welcome back to the Gypsy Caravan. I'm Shan. How you doing? So for today's video, as I'm sure you can see by the title and thumbnail, today's video is glam on a budget, or a full face of makeup using drugstore and affordable makeup products or brands. Everything that is on my face currently right now is 280 Rand and less. Imagine, like, and I didn't even use that much. I tried my best. It didn't go well with my brows, but I tried my best. Tried my best. I should probably take English lessons again, or finishing school to learn how to speak again, because clearly I forgot how to do such things. Yep, so today is basically glam on a budget. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and like and leave comments down below. I enjoy interacting with you guys, even though I'm the most antisocial person on the planet. Coronavirus made that worse. I'm just being upfront with you guys so that you know. So I think that is all the admin I need to give you for today. So let's head straight into the video. I'm just going to sanitize my hands real quick, just because I've been busy. I'm just using my Isabella Garcier sanitizer because they sent 2 full tubes with the last subscription box that I received. So I've been making use of it, and it smells super alcohol-y, and the percentage of the alcohol is quite high, so why not, you know? We're gonna start off with the eyes today. And even though I wouldn't recommend using a concealer for your lids, I literally do not have a drugstore brand of eye primer, so I'm just gonna go in with the best I can do right now, and that is the Isabella Garcier Eyelights concealer and highlighter. It doesn't have a specific color or shade rather, but I think they do make it in different shade ranges. I'm actually not entirely sure, so I'm just going to do a couple of swatches on the lid, or on each lid, and I am just going to blend that out with a JH43 blending brush from Morphe in collaboration with Jaclyn Hill. So Morphe may not particularly be super affordable in South Africa, but it is considered a affordable brand. I'm sure if you go shopping on certain websites, you will find like different price variations, but honestly they're not all that expensive. They are definitely cheaper than high-end. So I'm just going to apply some Burt's Bees lip balm to my lips. Again, is this an affordable brand here? Not really, because this converted is like, what, 85 Rand? But obviously you're gonna use what's best for you. Like, you don't have to use this particular brand of like chapstick. I got mine while I was traveling, and it was cheaper to buy it in America than here, honestly, with the conversion rates and everything. So just FYI, that was the vanilla bean scent. Okay, so let's actually get into the eye look of today. The palette of choice today, I've decided to go in with my mini Morphe times Jaclyn Hill palette. This is the Ring the Alarm palette. So it's this palette that has all the really nice warm browns, maroons, oranges, and then obviously like the shimmers. So yeah, so I was just really feeling like this sort of moment today, or like this sort of like mood palette. So that's the palette that I'm going to be going in with. Obviously, use a palette that works for you, that has this sort of shade range, if you are looking to recreate this look exactly. If not, again, this is just a video of recommendations of affordable makeup and drugstore brand based makeup that I really personally enjoy and think that you may benefit from. Okay, cool. So based off of this palette, I don't really have a transition shade that I am crazy about, so I'm gonna go in with another palette. Just hold on 2 seconds for me. Okay, so this is a palette from NYX, excuse my name. This is the Love Contours All palette. I don't think they stock this palette anymore, but they do come out with these types of palettes pretty regularly. if I'm being honest. I've seen a few different variations of this. This is essentially a face palette, so it contains eyeshadows, brow shades, contours, and highlighting pans, or I don't know, whatever you want to call this. So I'm going to go in with this center shade here, which is actually just number 5 on the palette. It's basically a skin tone shadow, and I'm just going to use that to set the concealer on my eye and kind of use that as a transition shade for today. Again, I'm just keeping in with the JH32 brush to apply that to my lid. So I'm just going to buff this all over the lid. It is a satin eyeshadow, which means that even though it is matte, it does contain the tiniest particles of a shimmer in, not per se a glitter. I have no idea what the point of that story was, but I thought I'd just let you all know that even though it does contain a shimmer, it doesn't come up shimmer in the lids. I think that was the point of the story. Okay, so now that we have that shade down, I can now actually go in with this palette. So I'm going to go in with this first shade here, which is called Rush, which is kind of like a creamsicle orange. It's not quite an orange, it's not quite like a peach. It is very muted, but it does have an orange undertone. So I'm just going to keep in with the JH32. And we're just going to pick up a little bit of that. This is going to go into the crease. Wow, every time I bump my desk, my phone moves. My phone is sitting precariously right now, so move at will. Cool. So like I said, this is just going into the crease area. I do want to do something more glam, like I mentioned in my introduction. It's glam on a budget, so we're going to make the most out of everything. So I'm feeling like a maroon smoky eye, so I feel like that is what I want to achieve today. So just with the shade, I'm just going to move in back and forth motions, and I'm literally just going to cover the entire crease area with this brush. The reason why I went in with a longed bristled, very fluffy brush is because I don't want to put too much color in the crease, but I do want it to be very soft and very diffused and blown out, and these type of brushes do exactly that. If you go in with something that is a little bit more on the dense side, more of like a packing brush, it's going to be very difficult to blend out this color. So you always want to keep in with something that is extremely fluffy and very flexible. Alrighty, so I'm pretty much just going to do like one eye on camera and the other eye off camera. So this is just so that this is not like too long a video, and also, you know, not to bore you guys too much. The next shade that I'm going in with is this one up top here. It's called Siren. It's kind of like a purpley reddish, so kind of like a wine shade, but it has a little bit of shimmer in, like the tiniest bit of shimmer. So the next brush we're going in with is a JH33 brush. As you can see, it's a little bit of a shorter blending brush, but it's still pretty flexible. This again is just so that we can apply the color to the eyes, but then still be able to have that room for flexibility to blend out the shade into the crease color that we have already. Of course, we are going to go back in with this brush because I feel like it's always essential to have a really big fluffy blending brush, just to make sure that everything blends well together and that there are no harsh lines. That is the rule, no harsh lines. Okay, so we are just going to put this in the lower portion of the crease. So again, I'm just working in back and forth motions, as you can see there. And then we're going to start working in circular motions. And this is where we are going to blend Siren and Rush together. So I'm going to do an alternation of back and forth motions just to get that Siren color into the crease, and then circular motions to blend it into that Rush shade that we applied before. And this is going to go from the inner corner to the outer corner because, like I said, I do want this to be a very maroon sort of smoky eye. So that was the reasoning behind that. We're going to go back in with a JH32, no additional products. It does look like I have orange on, but I actually don't. I didn't tap in at all. And we're just going to go over everything just to make sure that everything is well blended in. It is smooth and that we don't have any definite lines, but there is a definition of color. You can still see where we applied the grapier sort of shade as in comparison to the orange crease color that we applied. We still want definition, but we still want everything to look very cohesive and very blended. And I generally like to do this in circular motions. Okay, so you should sort of have like a really pretty sunset moment going on your eyes right now. Let's get into the lid. So the next color that I'll be going in with is this one here. It's called Framed. This is a true like purple, vino purple. It looks exactly like wine, but more like on the purpley side. So we're going to use this in our outer crease, the outer portion of our lid rather. I don't know what I'm saying. And again, we're just going to keep in with the same JH33 brush. We're going to pack it into that outer corner lid, blend up into the crease. So first we're going to start off by pushing this color into the lid. Just the outer corner really. And then as that product begins to leave, the brush, that's when we can start working this out into the crease. Again, just alternating between back and forth motions and circular motions. Okay, and then of course, as always, go back in with your big fluffy blending brush and just on the edges ensure that everything is nice and soft, diffused and blown out. Alrighty, so let's finish up this lid. The next shade that I'm going in with is this beautiful red shimmer right here. It's called Bum Ass. And we are going to be applying this to the inner portion of the lid. This is purely just going to be a base color because I do really want to go in with the glitter over top of that. But I hate putting glitter on a bare eye. It doesn't work for me. So that is what we're going to go in with, and I'm going to use a JH41 brush to apply that. This is a packing brush, which means it is a denser brush, which means it's going to apply more product, and it's less likely to be used for blending as it's not going to give you that really soft fade. This is more for like packing on intense punchy color. So because this is a shimmer, I am going to push this into the lid. I don't want to do any swiping like this because essentially that's all you're doing. You are just swiping the color on your eye. You want it to be really pushed into the lid so that your lid takes and grabs onto that color. Cool, so I'm just patting this in all over that inner part of the lid and I'm cutting myself off at the crease. Just like that. So it sits only in the inner portion of the lid. And how beautiful does that shimmer look? It looks like a true sunset on our eyes, don't you think? Okay, so we're going to take a little step away from the palette for just a second, because like I said, I do want to add some glitter to this look because I feel like it could be quite fun and like super glam. So to apply the glitter, I'm going to go in with this glitter primer from NYX. It's specifically formulated to keep the glitter pressed onto the lid. And I'm just going to apply that with the back clean side of that JH41 just to save brush. And I'm just going to use a small amount like that because you really don't need a lot. And I'm just going to press this product only in the area where we've applied that red shimmer, because we still want to keep that outer corner quite smoky. So I'm just, whoops, I got that in my eye. So I'm just going to be dabbing that along that red shimmer and kind of using it to cut my crease, but not really. The glitter product I'm going to be going in with is called Orbit Orange, and it's from Glitter My World. I don't know if you can really see that. It's kind of like a coppery, orangey, chunky red glitter. I don't know how much these are because I bought this off of a friend who did like a bulk order of these glitters. But I'll link all the details down below for you guys so that you can find them. So before this glitter primer dries, I'm just going to dip my brush into this glitter and just tap off whatever didn't grab. And I'm going to press this glitter into that primer. Like, already look at that. That just looks gorgeous. So I'm just going to keep doing this until I've filled this entire first half of the lid. And I'm going to build it up pretty much how I see fit. I want it to be super glittery. Of course. Look at that. Chunky ass glitter. Okay, so as you can see, I'm kind of just cleaning up the eye area with a wet wipe or makeup remover wipe, whatever you people call it, just to sharpen up, just to sharpen up the edges and just kind of remove the glitter that has fallen down on the face. If you want, another alternative is to take sellotape or press stick and to like press it against the skin to remove the glitter, but I mean, if you don't have foundation on, it's okay. It's not like a huge trend smash. So now let's go in with some moisturizer. The moisturizer I'm going in with today is the Fresh Solutions Day Moisturizer by Isabella Garcier. This is a slightly thick consistency of moisturizer, so I'm literally only going to take the smallest amount because I don't need that much. I'm just going to apply it with my fingers. Okay, so the primer that I'm going to be going in with today is by Physicians Formula. It's called the Spotlight Illuminating Primer. I'm just going to be applying this with my hands as well. No big deal. This is a very illuminating sort of primer. You can see it has quite a bit of shimmer or illumination to it. I don't really know how to explain it. But I do want to go in with quite a luminous primer today because I do like the dewy skin sort of look. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. You can see it has amazing reflect into it. I'm just going to massage this into my skin. This is a really great primer because it does contain hints or extracts of argan oil in it. I think the entire range is based off of argan oil or mumura oil. I don't know if that's how you say it. I'll link that down below for you. I just really like this because it gives the skin a great luminosity, and you can totally wear this alone with our foundation and just give yourself like that really great healthy skin vibe. See, like, look at that. That is just like bam. It's amazing. I really like this, especially underneath powder foundation. Like, I love wearing this under powder foundation because it just gives the best amount of luminosity to come through the powder, but it has staying power as well. And I forgot to do my forehead. So, my neighbor's new boyfriend, or old boyfriend's back. They have an on and off relationship, and I see he's back now. Wonder how long that's gonna last. For those of you who are new, I have issues with my downstairs neighbor. So many issues. Okay, my choice of foundation today is my tried, true, and most loved drugstore foundation. I don't think it gets any better than this when it comes to drugstore foundation. This is incredible. Okay, this is the best primer foundation for any skin tone, any skin type, any skin color, just anybody. Even if you're a freaking alien disguised as a human, girl, you need this foundation. It's incredible. So this is the, what is this? The Photoready Candid foundation. I am in the shade 200, which is nude. This is a teensy bit dark for my skin, but I mean, whatever. Like, we're heading into warmer months, so it's fine. I'm going to be applying that with a damp Real Techniques sponge. And the thing that I like about this foundation the most is that it gives coverage, but it gives your skin the most natural looking finish. So you can get insane coverage out of this foundation because it is incredibly buildable as well. But it's not going to look heavy or cakey or anything like that on your skin. It just literally looks like your skin or a version of your skin, but so much better, so much better. It's also non-comedic, which means it's not going to sit in your pores and block up your pores, but it is going to smooth over and refine your skin. Refine. It's just, it's amazing. Chef's kiss. And of course, the reason why we all here, it's affordable. Like, it's affordable. Okay, and then just for concealer, I'm just going to go in with the same concealer I used to prime my eyes. It's the Isabella one. You can use this as a concealer or a highlighter. I'm going to be using it as a highlighter today. So I'm only going to be applying it to this outer portion of the face to give my face a lift. And a tiny bit just in the inner corner just to kind of bring down the color that I get from late nights sitting on Netflix or TikTok. Because this is super close to my skin, I can go in with as much as I want and it not look super cakey. And then again, I'm just going to blend that out with my Real Technique sponge, but I'm going to use the pointier side to blend that out. And you'll notice that I took the time to pounce my products in. This is just going to ensure longevity in your wear. If you just swipe your brush and your sponge all over the place, your product has nothing to like cling or to grab to. You really need to take the time to just push that product in and allow your skin to absorb and cling to the product. It just ensures that your makeup will last longer throughout the day. Okay, let's get into brows. Just to comb out my brows, I'm just going to go in with a spoolie and just kind of like brush through them. I know my brows or a brow tutorial was quite requested. I am working on that. That was supposed to be like a last minute situation, but I mean, what are you gonna do? So I'm thinking of getting to it, but I was thinking of maybe doing it as like an Instagram TV tutorial, but I'm not entirely sure just yet. I will think about it. But yeah, so long I'm just brushing this up. This is a spoolie and angle brush, like double brush, I don't know, whatever tool from Isabella Garcier. I also received this in one of their subscription boxes. Okay, so because my brow routine is quite extensive and I do obviously prefer my more high-end products because they just work and they just do what I want them to do, I'm just going to step away from that for a little bit and I'm going to go back in. Whoa, I nearly literally threw that palette across the room. Can you imagine? I'm going to go back in with this palette. And I'm going to dip into this shade here. It's number 15 on the palette. Again, it doesn't really have a name, but it's very similar in color to my high-end products that I use from MAC. So like my pencil, my gels, things like that. It's very similar to this. This would obviously be stupid and too dark. This is best for like platinum messed up hair colors like I have. Cool, so number 15. And then because I don't have a drugstore brand of angled brush and the Isabella Garcier ones are way too soft, I am going to go in with this flat definer brush from Morphe. It is the JH43 and we are just going to hope for the best. So I'm just going to do some flicking motions in the front and then just fill it up. It's not a bad color. It's a little lighter, but I mean, we're just going to make it work. Obviously this is going to be more defined than I like wearing my brows, but it's just because of the situation I put myself in. Remember kids, I did this to myself. I thought it would be a good idea to do an affordable drug store based tutorial. So, and then just go back in with the spoolie and kind of blend that all together and shape my brows kind of sort of in a kind of decent shape. But that'll do, donkey. That'll do. Brows. Done. Could they look better? Absolutely. Can I do anything about it? No. Okay, so that's as good as they're probably gonna get. Let's just move on. Okay, so I'm just gonna coat my lashes with a mascara. I'm just gonna use my Isabella Garcier Fifth Wonder mascara. It's black, and only because all the other mascaras that I have are not drugstore. So I'm gonna go in with this. I'm just gonna grab a mirror so that I can see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna literally coat them. So I'm just gonna whack a crap load of mascara on my lashes. Okay, cool. Mascara on. Okay, mascara is on. Lashes are looking good. Brows are annoying me. Continue with the bottom lash line. So keeping in with my JH43 definer brush, I'm just gonna clean off the brush on my pens. Don't tell anyone. Okay, so going back in with our palette, I'm going to do a little bit of Siren and Framed mixed together. I'm gonna kind of use that to tightline underneath my eyes. So I am just going to kind of wiggle this right underneath here, taking it all the way into the inner corner and all the way to the outer corner. Like so. Okay, and then taking my JH40 brush, which is like a pointy blending out brush, I guess. I'm going to go in with Rush, which is that very first color that we went in with, and I'm going to use that to soften and smoke out the bottom lash line. Cool, so I'm just going to run this along that purple and that Siren and Framed. Yes? Yeah. And just run that along and just soften that out. I'm then going to make the switch to the big JH32 brush and go along that and just soften that out. Cool, so that we still have that nice smokiness underneath the eye, but it's still very much defined. Cool, and then of course some mascara just to finish off the bottom lashes. And to highlight our inner corners, I am going to go in with a little bit of this eyeshadow here. It's called Lolli, and I'm going to be applying that with the JH42 small shader brush. And like I said, I'm just going to use this to highlight my inner corners. I am going to go in with some more highlighter afterwards, but just as a start and to utilize the palette, of course. So I'm just going to stick this into the inner corner here. It's kind of like a rose gold sort of shade. It's really pretty. Just as like the initial highlighter. Like I said, I am going to go in with something else, but just as a start. And for the actual highlighter, I'm going to go back in with this NYX palette. And I'm going to grab the highlighter shade here, which is number 10 on the palette, I think. Yep, number 10. It's this really like frosty pink shade. I'm going to use that again in my inner corner and to highlight my brow bone using the same brush. The reason why I'm doing this is just because I like the warmth from the palette of that rose gold. I think I knocked my microphone there. But I don't have a drugstore highlighter, so I'm making the best of what I have, people. So there we go. So that's just going to add like the proper highlighting power. You can see it already has made such a difference. I'm just taking my JH32, cleaning off what I can. Going back in with that number 10 highlighter. And just kind of skimming across the brow bone. Just to highlight that area. Okay, so I'm not going to be contouring my skin per se. I do want to bronze. Just because I feel like this look kind of calls for bronzer. So I'm going in with a Physicians Formula bronzer. This is my absolute favorite. As you can see, I've hit pan. So lame. It's called Butter Bronzer. I have the shade Light Bronzer here. So they do come in different like shade variations according to your skin tone. I have light because I am light. And I'm just going to apply that with my Isabella Garcier like contour blush brush. Cool, so I'm just going to bronze up the area. I'm not going to be too precise about placement per se. I am just going to apply this all over the cheek area, cheekbone, a little bit on the apples of the cheeks because I don't have a blush. This is really bad of me. This is really encouraging me to do some drugstore shopping. Not because I'm a snob or anything, just I've tried stuff and I'm just not pleased with the things that I've tried. So I think I need to like get out there again and try and find stuff that I enjoy. And taking this into my forehead as well. Just to warm up that area too. Of course you've got to cut the jawbone because who wants a little chin? It's not sexy. I'm not used to this. I haven't done this in the longest time, so like my arms are already tired from blending. Like I do pull, I work out. Why am I tired? This doesn't make any sense. I'm going to go in with the same highlighter from this palette, that number 10 shade. But I'm going to mix a little bit of number 11 in as well. So this is the more goldier shade. This is like the pinkier shade. I'm going to take that on a 402 Real Techniques setting brush. And I'm just going to kind of dip and mix around into the two because I don't want my highlighter to be too cool toned because then it won't go with the eye look. And I don't want it to be too gold because I'm too fair for that. Life, you know, first world problems. Oh my gosh. Cool. So I'm just going to use that. That is a really nice mixture. I'm just going to use that to highlight the tops of my cheekbones. And just bring it down on the apples of my cheeks so that we have a nice youthful glow as well. Because you know we're all about the youth. Youths. Tip of the nose, bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow. My brows are really annoying me. Because quite intense up here, you want to keep everything pretty much pulled back, which means you can go one of two ways with this look. You can either do a really super dark lip and keep everything really warm, or do what I'm doing and keep it very simple and very nude on the lips. So the product I'm going to go in with today is by Revlon Kiss. Well, Revlon Kiss is their lipstick range. And this is the Glow Lip Oil. So basically it's just a really moisturizing lip oil or tint that you put on the lips. This is in the shade 005 or 9. Bouncing Beige. It's really hard to read. Anyway. Oh. She didn't want to open it. Cool. So I'm just going to be applying this to my lip. Doe foot applicator. Super easy. It comes in a variety of shades, by the way. Like, I just went for nude because I wasn't sure about it. Okay, so here is the completed look. Regal. I'm really upset about my brows, but I mean, not the color and not the product, just the fact that I need the gel to keep my brows up, because that is their normal shape and that just doesn't work for me. So I hope you really enjoyed today's tutorial and that you took from it what you needed, be it the product recommendations or the actual makeup look. It's totally up to you what you take from this tutorial, so long as you enjoyed yourself. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Like, are there products that you're missing that you'd like to try? from the drugstore range, or did you just in general and really enjoy the makeup tutorials today? Let me know down in the comments below. If you have any suggestions on tutorials or videos or just any general makeup or beauty or whatever, anything else that you want to see here on my channel, you're more than welcome to sound off in the comments down below regarding that as well. Thank you so much for watching today's tutorial. I know the lighting kind of went down because, well, I started this at 4 o'clock and I kind of went along with the sun, so I'm sorry that the video is so dark at the end now. But again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day further, and I'll check you in my next tutorial.